All right. Welcome everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to the Law Ice Podcast Show. I'm thrilled to have everyone, and I got a special guest, Miss Crystal. She will be joining us in a few minutes. So enjoy the show. It's gonna be raw. It's gonna be very intriguing, and hey, just you'll see. All right. Hello, Miss Crystal. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. So, welcome to the Law Ice Show. I'm
Oh,
glad to have you.
thanks for having me.
Okay. So, what are your thoughts on today's relationship and the way everything in the world is being set up to be like the the trauma and the hardship of being able to stay in a relationship, as you know what I'm saying, because everybody gets so blindsided with, man, like I'm in a good thing here, but then I got something over here that's pulling me back from having my good thing right here. So what are your thoughts on that?
I feel like today's relationships are totally different from back in the day when our grandmothers and grandpas and stuff like that were in relationships because I come from a family where like my great grandpa and my great grandpa he worked. My great grandma she stayed in the house, but she made sure everything was done in the house. She made sure, he came home, he had cooked meals, everything in the house she took care of, and he went to work. She didn't even have a driver's license. But I feel like today it's a little different because the cost of a living is different. I feel like women are, you know, finding their, place in the job markets and things like that. So
Right.
totally different than what it was back then. But I grew up watching my great grandma cook, clean, take care of the kids, and things of
Right.
that nature. Hmm.
So do you feel like, okay, from your great grandmother until the present day, the women of today, how can I say this? What happened? Like, because somewhere between from great grandmother to the present day of the women, somewhere the transaction got lost.
Yes. So here I'll put it like this. So watching my great grandmother, I always wanted the relationship she had with her husband.
Right.
Because it was like, even after he passed away, she never remarried. She just
Mm-hmm.
that was her husband and that's just what it was.
Right.
Um, but the love was so real back then,
Correct.
you know. But I think now in these times it's a little different because for one, the cost of a living is a lot higher than what it was back then. And honestly, I feel like back then it might have been easier for them to, take care of the household. Now I feel like a two income household is definitely better than a one. Even though maybe the man can take care of all the bills and stuff in the household,
Mm-hmm.
what about the extra stuff? What about the things that keep the marriage going? What about, you know, the memories that you guys build, things are like that. So I feel like women definitely working, they are able to make money to contribute to the household.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's th- I agree with you on that one. In today's society where a lot of women are now and they're graduating,
Hmm.
they're getting degrees and they able to have a good paying a job. But also during that process of getting a good paying job, and building your career, what about family?
Right.
It's
And we
like
can't lose sight
it's,
of that.
Right. It's like once the woman get her degree, and then once she start processing through her career, it's like she don't got time for the man, and she put the man on the back burner, and she'll focus on her career more than she would on trying to build a stable family for home. And also, what kills me the most is a lot of women feel like, man, if I go get this job, I build my career, um, I have it made. But they fail to realize like this job here can terminate you any moment.
Right. And that's true, but I feel like you gotta be able to balance the two. Like,
Right, right, right,
have to find some balance because your relationship or your marriage is very important and you definitely want to keep, you know, the spark going, what started it, this, that, the other. So you can't lose sight of that.
right.
So, I feel like it's a balancing act, but you have to do that if you want to be in a successful marriage, and that's just what it is. Um,
Okay.
I feel like so for instance, me in my position, um, my man is retired, so he doesn't have to
Hmm.
work, right? But I still work. But he can pay everything in his house, and I don't have to pay anything. But there's things that I like to do for him, and there's things that I want to do for us. So
Right,
I never lose sight of, we need to have that time where, we just enjoy each other, this, that, the other.
right.
So that's what I'm working for. Like, you know, for us to have that extra time to enjoy it, you
So
know?
so do you feel like with you and him, do you feel like it'll work out?
I'm hoping it does. And then not only just that, it's like sometimes we fall on hard times.
Huh? Right.
So when we fall on those hard times, I understand what you did and I understand all the work that you put in to take care of this household. But sometimes we fall on hard times. So it's like, people fail to realize even though you're the man of the house, you can still fall. You can still have those days where, you still have those bad days and this, that, the other. And that's why I'm here to pick you up.
Correct, correct.
So that's why I feel like, I, you know, I feel like that's my role. Like, if there's a minute where he lacks, I can come in and pick that up. And
Okay.
that doesn't make him less of a man because we all fall on hard things. And we're a blended family.
Right.
So, he has kids, a child in college. I have my kids, this, that, the other. And you never, even with your kids, they, run across hard times. So it's like,
Yeah.
just to have that extra cushion to be able to take care of what needs to be taken care of, and it's not pulling out the household like that. Is that's why I see like it's important for me to continue to work,
Okay.
and
Well, I hope it do work.
I do
There's
too.
no there's no there's no guarantee on anything.
Right, right.
So
And that's one of the things that I'm learning. Like, what I'm saying? I'm so used to taking care of things myself, but like I've learned that I gotta let him be the man.
yeah.
And
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. So with you and your job, your money, your finances and everything, and with his employment, I mean his money and finances and all that, do you have a problem with him being the captain of the ship?
no, I don't. Cause you know what? I felt like in my previous relationships, I was kind of the captain of the ship.
Right.
And with him, it's totally different. So it's like, finally, it's not me having to take care of everything or figure out this, that, the other. He's there, and I'm more like the support. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I love that.
Man, I wish there was a way, you know what I'm saying, you can express to these a lot of these women of today. I mean, cause I'm telling you, it's getting bad out here these days.
Oh God, I know. And you know what? I'm so glad I don't have no daughter because and me raising boys, I always raised them like, you supposed to be the head of your household and this, that, the other. But
Right.
don't let nobody use you. They definitely need to bring something to the table. And that's just what it is. That's just how I look at everything. I
Well,
tell
let me go ahead now. Go ahead.
I told my fiance, I said, look, I said, I know you got everything, whatever, but I'm definitely bringing something to the table. And it just balances. Like that's what balances.
Right.
Yeah.
So with your boys and everything, and they are going into they finna be 20 or 20 some years old, correct?
One is 21 and the other one is 19.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with the 21-year-old. So is he dating?
Yes.
You like her?
I'm not gonna say I don't like her. It's her mother. I feel like she's involved way too much.
Oh, okay.
Here's the thing about that. My son is dating a woman that has like a disability, right?
Oh,
And I can
okay.
understand her mother protecting her, this, that, the other. But my son, he's been on his job for a long time now, and he's a supervisor where he works at. And but she has too much input. It's their
Right.
ultimately it's their relationship. He's not asking her for nothing, this, that, the other. Um, and I just feel like you gotta let them live. You gotta let them figure things out. And once you get
Mhm.
too involved, it becomes y'all's relationship versus their relationship.
Right.
And so with him, I'm just like, he's still young. This is probably not going to be his last
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah, because it's with him being 21 and he exploring his options on different women and everything. There's a lot of women out there, they are dealing with a one guy, but they also looking for a come up.
Yeah,
And that's what a lot of young boys are failing to realize, the wolf in the sheep clothing, because this one girl, she'll tell you anything she wants you to hear. She'll give you all the good sex you want you to have. But man, somebody else she probably really in love with, and her true feelings are with that other guy, but you don't see it until it's too late.
right. And see, with him, I think she's really into him, but like I said, her mother's just too way involved. Like I
Oh,
don't get
okay.
involved in my kids' relationship. If they come to me and ask me questions, I'll say my opinion, but ultimately it's up to them to figure out, what it is that they're looking for. Um,
Right.
this, that, the other. So I try not to get too involved. Um, because she, if to be honest, it took me a few relationships to,
Yeah.
so I just gotta let them do what they do. They just gotta live and learn. You know what I'm saying? You learn trial and error.
So
Trial
so what you think about becoming a married woman? What are
I
your thoughts on that?
do. Like I'm excited about that. Like, to be
Cause
honest,
this will be your first time, correct?
hell no. Oh my god, I'm cursing. No. And you know what I'm saying? The first marriage, we'll get into that another time.
Oh,
But
okay.
this is the first time where I've really had somebody that's just like had my back on anything and really showed me a, like a true man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So um in my mind this is my first marriage, but on paper it's not. It's my
Oh,
second.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're not nervous, but you feel like this would be the right thing to do, which it
Yeah, but you
is.
know what? I'm still working on me too because you know what? I've learned that I am a runner. So the first red flag, I'm like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's
Yeah.
perfect, but me, I am so like I took a year to just heal myself and like get myself together. And so I told myself, like, when I get in this next relationship, I ain't dealing with nothing. Like, it's either gonna be this is what it's gonna be, or it's not gonna be.
Right.
So, but honestly, I still have to get out of my ways. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I can't run every time something goes wrong.
Right.
That's what I'm learning to deal with.
Yeah, that's good. That's real
Yeah, and
good.
I recognize
And
I got issues, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, there was like a whole year where I took to just focus on myself and get myself together. And I was just like, ain't nobody disturbing my peace. That was
yeah.
nobody's disturbing my peace. And but I'm still set in my ways a little bit and I have to learn to like, get away from that.
So um do you not have a problem with him doing this thing? Like, uh, hey, baby, I'm finna go out for a little bit with my homeboys. You know what I'm saying? Just go out and
No,
calling his phone and where you at? When you coming back home? Y-
no, I don't have a problem with him going out and doing his thing. Um, you know what I'm saying? Just act like you got some sense when you go out and do your thing. But
Yeah.
because
Okay.
we all need that time away. Like I need my time with my girls. He need his time with his boys because there's certain things that you can talk to your boys about that you can't really talk to me about. And there's certain things I can talk to my girls about that I really can't talk to you how I want to talk to you about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody needs that time. So that's just, that's not an issue for me.
Okay.
Matter of fact, we was somewhere yesterday and I literally sat in the car for about 20 minutes.
By
His
yourself?
boys, because I feel like when you're with your boys, you're talking to your boys. I don't need to be just like when I'm with my girls. I don't need you sitting under me when I'm talking to my girls. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I
Yeah.
felt yesterday. I was like, oh, I'm just in the car, and so I sat in the car, and he kept
Oh,
coming in
okay.
the car like, "You good? Like, come on, like, come out." And I was like, until my friends pulled up, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go inside. But
Well, that's good. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going out doing your thing, hanging out and stuff. There's no problem. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
yeah, I feel
Um,
like, and then we do a lot of things together too. So like, we went to our first world title fight.
oh, you did?
Yeah, we went
Okay.
see Earl Spence, and that was
Oh,
in
okay.
yeah. So we do things to try to keep it live between us, and then we still do our separate things as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So, man, it just I feel like this summer, you're gonna see a lot of craziness this summer. I thought I seen it all, but man, it's like the men and the women are getting desperate. You know what I'm saying? And
It's crazy because the things I see now, I'm like, oh my god, was I like that when I was 20? Was I like that when I was
what's the
20?
worst thing? What's the worst thing you seen so far? So far that you be like you can't believe.
There's just things like women degrading themselves, and not just women, men too. Like they just doing the
Yeah.
most out here, and I'm just like, oh my god, was I like that when I was that age? So now I'm real cautious on how I move or whatever because the camera is everything. Somebody's always recording something,
Yeah.
and you kind of get older and you look back at things like that, and you be like, oh,
Um.
I
I.
feel
f-
like people are more like I feel like people aren't together anymore because of love. They're together because of the hype or they're messing with each other to make a come up off of each other and this, that, the other. I feel like it's just totally different from what I was used to seeing as I was coming up.
Right. So you made a good point right there where you said women are together for the come up and not for the love. And that is absolutely correct, and especially this day and age, because it seemed like back then when we was growing up and being raised, it was all about love, but now it's all about money. And if a man, they feel like if a man making $50,000 a year, and that's the average man
Mhm.
making $50,000 a year, I don't want you. I don't. The woman feel like she don't want the man because he making too little, which I don't understand. Like, how did it get to that point, man? Like,
But you know what? I was raised a little different because my mom, she always told me a piece of job is better than no job.
exactly. And I feel
So
like
yeah,
people get glamorized and on the media. The girls having what a Mercedes Benz, or you know what I'm saying. Rich is rental. Everything's been rental on the media. If they flash on the media, it's being rental. It's not theirs. You know. Uh, I couldn't believe I had what a girl was talking about she want a Birkin bag. Do you know how much a Birkin bag costs?
right.
Like,
So like, you know what? I think, honestly, people go through that phase. And now what's more important to me at this age is like improving the house. So like all the money that you spend into this, that, the other. I'm not gonna say, hey, you couldn't have nice things. By all means, I feel like we work hard, so we deserve to treat ourselves. But for
yeah,
now, as of me right now, in the stage that I'm in, I feel like I'm putting this into the house. So because honestly, you know, that runs out.
you're right.
And then when you get this age, you start looking at things like, dang, I spent all this money on this and this, that, the other. And now I really don't have anything to show for it.
Hmm.
Um, but as of right now in my life, it's more about building this house and, you know, I want to travel, make
That's what,
memories,
and
things of that nature.
right, and that's what it should be all about, basically, because um, it'll keep you happy. It'll keep him happy.
Right.
No worries, no stress.
Right. And so, me currently, we're just trying to balance everything out. We're still learning each other. Um, learning to live with each other, learning each other's differences and things of that nature. So, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna say don't get we bump heads.
yeah, I know. Everybody, and this
We
thing about it,
bump
a
heads,
lot of my I had a family member that was married for 70 years, and they, it was some brutal bumping heads, but they had some little happiness, but they bumped some serious heads now, cuss each other out and everything.
but right? Because you know what was crazy is that the other day I went back and I looked at my great grandpa and my great grandma because I used to go spend the summers with them. And
Yeah.
I used to be with my great grandma when she was tilling peas and things of that nature.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's what on her the summer is shell peas and things like that. But I looked back at their lives and I was like, and I called my grandmother and I was like, when did Papa or when did Pop and Momo get married? And she was like, honestly, I think they got married when she was like 16. And my
Right,
grandpa
yeah.
was about like, oh my God, my grandpa was probably about what, 15 years older than her, but that was her one and only husband. They stayed
Hmm.
married. He died at 105. She died at like 87. And but that was the love of her life. You know what I mean? And
Right.
after so they had a decade together, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And you know, I think we just strayed away from that type of stuff. And I just think we need to get back to that. Um,
Well, I
but
don't
yeah,
think we.
go ahead.
I would like for us to get back, but man, it's gonna be hard to get these young kids now shell some peas.
These kids is they're on a whole nother level. You know what? When I was a kid back then, we fight. Now they shoot.
Yeah,
It's a totally different type of. It's totally different
yeah.
now.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if you've seen it now, but that's why like a lot of companies are saying that what is the Gen Zs, whatever they call them,
Yeah.
they are hard to deal with because they like to quit on the job so much.
Right. So that's what we had this discussion at work one day. So like, we talk about the people, what are they called? Our not our baby boomers, but our what is the ones before them? They get on a job, they stay on the job, and their goal is to retire. But now it's
Hmm.
different because the people now they're just going where the money's at. So like it's like, okay, you're paying me this, but somebody else is offering me this, so I'm going there.
Right.
And to be honest, I'm not totally against that, but you need to have something set in place like a 401k or something like that you can roll over and this, that, the other. But it's totally different from back then.
They
My
don't-
mom, she stayed on her job for 25 years.
yeah.
And
They, they feel like that 401k. That's that you gotta wait too long kind of money. They don't want that kind of money. They want to get rich right here.
get rich right. Because you know what?
Yeah.
But the internet did that.
Yeah.
The internet did that. So these kids now are getting on the internet making money just off what they're posting.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
we didn't have that back when we was coming up. You know what we had? Nextel phones, Motorola's, all that. You couldn't record nothing.
Hey,
Now it's internet. Everything's internet.
hey, you remember? Hey, I call you back before after 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah,
I
my
had
minutes.
3 minutes.
You gotta get on my minutes. Call me at the
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now
just
it's making it easier for them to make money, but ultimately, like the thing is that we're gonna eventually get to the point where there ain't gonna be no jobs because they are getting like robots and stuff like that and
oh
everything.
yeah,
And
oh
it's
yeah,
let's think about it. You go to Walmart and stuff now. What are you doing? Self checkout.
yeah, yeah.
So
Most
we was
definitely.
in Walmart the other day. Wait, we was in Walmart a couple weeks ago, and my fiance was like, "They better not stop me at the door because they should have did their job when I was at the register."
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I totally agree with that.
So
Hmm.
you know, but yeah, everything. And so even though we're getting more tech smart, it's definitely eliminating a lot of jobs out there.
And it's in a way it's sad, but I feel for the older generation. The generation that's 60 and older, because the artificial intelligence, man, they gonna be scratching their head because they gonna be trying to get help, and when they trying to get help, people gonna have attitude on trying to help them because they don't understand on the new technology that's being pushed out. And like I say, the older generation they don't understand on like how to work this stuff,
Right. Right.
especially a person that's been living in the country all his life
Right.
is clueless.
Exactly.
And
Can we
so
take a second to pause?